If you're watching this, you've probably seen me post online about the video interviews I did with John Blanche earlier this year. So I thought it would just be a nice idea to kind of introduce myself and give a bit of background as to how I met John and how those videos came into fruition. And I suppose what the aim of them was. So my name's Tom Evans. I live in Nottingham, and I'm just someone who's just passionate about tabletop wargaming. So I got into the hobby as a young kid. I was introduced to Warhammer Fantasy. I think like many people then, I kind of left it as I got to the end of my teenage years and then rediscovered the hobby again a few years ago. I think like many people, I was confused by the changes that Games Workshop had made, particularly with the introduction of Age of Sigmar. But I kind of quickly rediscovered 6th edition fantasy, which was always the kind of mainstay of my hobby experience. And that's kind of something that's just stuck with me over the last few years. So I spent the last few years kind of building up and painting a Chaos Dwarf army, the big hat models from 4th edition. And that was kind of like my real labor of love. And I say I completed the army in 2021. I think now that I've had a chance to game with them a bit more, I probably like to add a few more different models to them. But kind of off the back of that then, I've kind of been able to, I've been exploring different games, I suppose, like Mordheim, and then kind of other non-Games Workshop games like Silver Bayonet. I met John in the summer of 2022. I'd just come back off my honeymoon and I picked up the Mordheim rulebook. Mordheim is a game that I was obviously aware of and kind of knew it had a bit of a cult following, but it was not something I'd ever played myself. And I felt a little, I suppose, intimidated as anyone is when you pick up a new game, and made a post on the kind of unofficial Facebook group asking if there was anyone in Nottingham who would teach me how to play. And John Blanche was kind enough to reply. Much to my surprise, he replied to my comment, saying, basically inviting me round. He was kind enough to say he'd have a game with me, teach me how to play. So John and I got chatting a little bit on Facebook Messenger, and as it turns out, John lives about 2 minutes down the road from me. So at the time, I went round his, we met, and had a game of Mordheim, had a cup of tea, and had a great time. It was a really, really good experience. It was really nice. Obviously, as a fan of John's work, it was great to be able to meet him, and I probably did come across as a fanboy at the time. So, John, if you are watching this, I apologise. But yeah, no, it was really great. We just had a nice time hanging out, playing Mordheim, and we obviously, we got along and decided to make it a bit of a regular thing. So I asked if I could invite a friend along, Harry, who I'll put his Instagram tag down below. And that's kind of become our regular gaming group, myself, Harry and John. So every few weeks we tend to just meet up at John's, roll some dice, hang out, have a chat, have a cup of tea, and just generally have a good time, And we've always kind of just played Mordheim or any kind of like loose skirmish game like Silver Bayonet is another one we play. And that's kind of been going on for the last year or so now. So a few months ago, I think it was back in April 2023, John happened to mention that Thomas Pirinen was coming over to visit. For those of you who don't know, Thomas Pirinen is the kind of co-creator or creator of Mordheim, and kind of loosely suggested, that he was going to go visit John, and it might be nice if, we got to meet him as well, and perhaps have a game of Mordheim. And kind of off the back of this, I suppose kind of thought, well, wouldn't it be really nice to be able to record something? It's not often that John and Thomas are going to be in the same room together. So I kind of suggested, or asked, I suppose, could I bring a camera along and do some recording? And kindly enough, they agreed. We didn't really have any agenda, I suppose, as to what we wanted to record. We really kind of just said, like, let's loosely chat about Mordheim without any direct questioning, I suppose, from like myself and the other people who helped me create those videos. And that's pretty much what happened on the day. So in July 2023, Thomas came over to visit Nottingham for a week. And on the day that we did the filming, we all met at John's. It was really great to meet Thomas. It was really nice. I got to say, he's a incredibly nice guy, very, very knowledgeable, and it was really great to meet him. A very humbling experience. And yeah, thankfully, I was able to get some camera equipment, and we, did some recording. So we did it very loose and informal. We pretty much just kind of set the camera up, hit record, and said, let's chat about Mordheim. And that's pretty much what happened. So it was really great to kind of hear them talking about the game and kind of just, you know, I suppose like bounce off on each other, each other's comments. That was really nice. That's kind of reflected in the videos that you'll hopefully end up watching. The structure to them, I suppose, is quite loose and informal. There isn't a kind of direct question and answer format. It is just very, it's a topic of them discussing Mordheim or discussing John's art, and that's pretty much how it went down. So I hope you're able to enjoy the videos. I believe, you know, welcome kind of any comments, feedback, or whatever. I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.